Todd and Erin morning stream on getparkdaily.com.
We were just looking at pictures of our niece's brand new baby.
Hi, Steph.
Hi, Stephanie. We love you. And you remember how newborns, it's like McLean, especially our son, was like this. They're so tiny and their skin's like sort of loose, like a skin suit. They haven't kind of filled out yet.
But if you have
They're
a dog,
so cute.
there's a mandatory picture you take with your dog and with the baby.
Like,
and,
see, my dog loves my baby.
And
That's
not a
gonna protect
cat.
him.
You know why? Because a cat will suck the soul out of your baby. That's why. Morning mountain cam time.
All right, good morning, Facebook friends. It's time to go to the Morning Mountain Cam. It is brought to you by Black Diamond Experts, electric, plumbing, heating, and air. The sun is glistening through right now, and it's going to be really pretty for a lot of the morning. There's still apparently a slight chance of showers today, which I'm like, all right. I don't think some of the areas can take any more.
This is true.
East High School would be a classic example.
This is true.
Because it's like underwater now. My sisters went to East High School. It's up in Salt Lake City, and of course, that's, if you remember, this is where they filmed High School Musical.
So we're going to talk about that. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about cinema in the graveyard. Cinema in the graveyard.
Okay. And when you can love your pets and when you're loving your pets too much is a problem.
And Roomba, the automatic robots vacuum
Isn't it
machine.
Roomba? Because Roomba would be the dancing.
It's that both, and they want to sell the information.
Dun, dun, dun. Can we go, hey, Brandon, can we go back to the picture of East High again?
We drove by yesterday.
I think this is so random because, yeah, what happened is they have their gigantic, if you've never been there, their gigantic parking lot on the top.
Across the street.
Which filled, higher elevation, came blaring down and created this massive culvert and then went across.
Into the front doors, over, if you've ever been to East High, in the front doors, it drops to the cafeteria. Evidently, we heard something about the basketball court. When does school start?
Entire first floor is underwater. Basketball court is underwater. Most of the parking lot.
Well, they got it out.
And school starts in 2 weeks, so that'll be great. 2 weeks to just get everything all dried out.
But they're working really hard on it.
If with the basketball court, though, once it's been underwater for like 12 hours.
Well, just think of our kitchen floor.
Yeah.
Our wood kitchen floor when our dishwasher overflowed.
That'd be because our nanny had used, instead of the little pod dishwasher detergent things, she used the bubbly stuff that you use in the sink. Yeah, that worked out.
It was like a nightclub, except really dangerous.
And depressing and expensive.
So, what do you have against rodeos?
Oh, I have nothing against rodeos, and I love them, but this is a rodeo couple here in Salt Lake City. They're actually in Tokerville. It's the Diamond G Ranch.
The Diamond G Ranch.
Now, they love these animals so much. For instance, White Magic.
What's White Magic?
White Magic was their bull, a prize-winning bull, a magnificent bull. Nice. A bull they loved so much they decided to spend hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars to clone White Magic. So now
they did what?
They cloned him.
They've done that with sheep.
At one point, they've had 6 at one time cloned White Magics.
Oh my gosh!
So they said that's very sweet. He says we try to name them according to the genetics, like Magical and White Magic Mirror Image. To tie it back to the genetic clone that they come out of. And I recognize it isn't new. It's been around for about 10 years. That's when they first cloned Dolly the sheep. But they said, we're really happy to spend these hundreds of thousands of dollars because we loved that bull so very much. And they said, it's really nice because, we get really attached to certain bulls and it's just very difficult to let them go. And so now we don't have to.
How many?
At one point they had as many as 6 of the same clones of the same animal.
They must taste good. Maybe that's it. Maybe their meat is tender.
Although, one thing that is kind of interesting, they said they have certain characteristics in common. She says, like the way they load, the way they would back in and out of the trailers and stuff, some of their behaviors were identical to the original clone base.
So the taste would carry over to the next one then?
I think if you're loving an animal enough to spend hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars to clone it,
you're
not making snacks.
They're loving it. And sliders, you got brisket, you've got stuff. Okay.
I think you're missing the whole point of that they love their animal.
Well, you thought it was stupid. Now I figured out the reason, and you won't go along with it.
Whatever.
All right, I want you to picture a park. We've seen this. We've heard about this. We've seen it. Movies in the park, right? They put a big inflatable screen up. They get a projector. Everybody comes down. They got a cooler. They got a blanket. The kids are running around, and then they show a wholesome film, and then everyone has a good time. The kids eventually fall asleep, and you get to carry them home.
which is always the case.
Perfect.
It really is nice,
Perfect
yeah.
summer evening.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that. They're doing that in Wisconsin with a little twist. Because they're doing it in a graveyard.
I could see that because we live by the Salt Lake City graveyard, and there's a lot of nice grassy areas where you could put up some seats and things.
Did you know that they used to be, this is funny, because back when, they used to be a gathering spot. And they used to do picnics, and they hang out with a lot of people still do, about their loved ones.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff.
tidy up the grave area, and then the friends come by, they have snacks.
But other people use the green space that don't have anybody at the cemetery, and respectfully hang out and enjoy the trees and the grass.
We used to play hide and seek a lot up
When
in
you grew,
ours when
you
we
grew
were kids.
up there, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I think we even, sunbathed there a couple of times, which was probably
that's
not
gross.
respectful at all.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway,
But
they're
yeah.
showing the movie, and some people are really upset.
What's the
And I
movie?
can see Ghostbusters.
Oh, come on, that's good.
You know, the lady
That's
says,
funny.
said,
It's not like they're using poltergeist, where all the graves came out of the water. I
oh,
mean,
God.
Ghostbusters is lighthearted.
You know, where the hand comes up.
Believe
and
me,
I-
there's much worse choices.
And I will say it's in a field that has not been used yet. And so it is.
So they're not sitting on the bodies if they're
They're
dead.
not leaning against headstones and stuff because.
Yeah, the funny thing is that, and maybe I'm wrong, but if I were actually buried in a graveyard, which I don't want to be, I want you to cremate me, but if I were,
Oh, I will.
don't get too excited.
Okay.
But this is why I never paid the life insurance, and I never let him know when that happens, because I never want him to be comfortable with the idea that I'm covered, if you know what I mean.
Accidents
But
happen.
no, but think about it. I mean, if you're under the earth, wouldn't you rather have people up smiling and laughing and talking and sitting around? I don't care if someone sits on my tombstone. I would like them to be happy. I don't want people coming there and bawling, or even worse, no one comes at all, and it's like this dead, silent, depressing place. Wouldn't you want
I
people
don't think you're really
to
aware.
be happy?
You're in the dirt. You're taking the
But
dirt nap.
But my point is that I would like it to be a place that was happy. I wouldn't want him to be depressing.
Well, a lot
and
of people who have dear ones buried there, they're upset about it, and I can see that. I can see that, and it's their mom or their Uncle Fred, even if it was weird.
Well, but you have to remember, though, this has been going on for a while down in Hollywood, the big famous Hollywood Cemetery.
Right.
They show old 50s films there all the time. This is one of the biggest things in Hollywood during the summer.
And like I said, in cities where green spaces are hard to find,
Yeah.
they've been using them for the last 15, 20 years like they did back in the 1800s.
I actually thought Ghostbusters was funny.
It
We're
is
not
funny.
homeless anymore. This is exciting.
Yesterday, number one, we were supposed to move Saturday morning. That wasn't going to happen.
Poor Todd.
So we
And our friend Jeff said, use this mover instead. And he goes, yeah, I'll move it Monday.
So
we're
within
happy.
a 4-hour period of time, we got a mover for Monday morning. It was 31st, got to be out by the 1st. So 4 hours of magic time. We got our mover. We got a house to rent.
And it's
We get in early.
And it's a great house. The
great
couple,
house.
the family was really nice. And here's the funny part: it's literally 1 block away from where we live now. So our neighbors Shannon and Charlie, who are the nicest people in the world, and our friend Liz Slager, who's our realtor. Liz Slager, if you want the best realtor in the world, I'm totally pimping her. Liz Slager is the most amazing woman alive. She's
Back to the
incredible.
neighborhood.
But anyway, so they threw us a goodbye party, and
Which in other words means get the hell out.
Well, no, but it's nice.
Who has one of
We've
those?
lived there for 20 years, and they're like, no, we want to throw a party, and it was really sweet. And
Now get out.
so we were talking. They're like, okay, well, do you know where you're living yet? And I went, yeah, we're going to live right over there. And they went, well, this isn't a real goodbye party then. And our friend Tank goes, this is a sham. This is a sham goodbye party. And we did feel sort of like awkward and anticlimactic, like,
Oh, okay.
we're sorry.
Yeah, we're going to be hanging around a
we
lot.
didn't really mean to, make it.
Kids are going to be playing over there across the street from our old house. And thank you, by the way.
We're not homeless.
Thank you for all the offers about your basements and your tough sheds and your attic space
and so many
for us
people
to live.
And so many people had suggestions and sent us like listings and different things. So
Boxes.
thank you. That was really
you
nice.
got us boxes. You know how important that
You guys
is?
are so sweet. Thank you so much for helping us, because everyone has been really, really nice.
And once we move and we unpack those boxes, coming right back at you.
oh, for the next person who needs
Right.
them. Yeah.
They're expensive.
We're there. I
Right.
know they are. So
No, I'm
thank
not
you.
going to return them to the same people.
I know, like
they
they're
were,
in your doorstep. You're like, I just got rid of those.
they were glad to get rid of them.
No, but thank you. You guys have been really, really nice. And now we're not homeless anymore. So that part's good too.
And our dog is so confused.
I know.
First of all, with the showing of the house, he would just walk. Eventually, he'd see us cleaning up like crazy, and and he'd walk over to the garage, knowing he was going to go in there, get locked in.
Poor dog.
And now he's this new place. I don't know what he's going to do. We don't do this here too much. Well, Patrick does, doesn't he?
Patrick can't stop the word flow from his mouth. He does all kinds of entertaining little phrases.
It's just back in the day. It's one of his favorites.
That's my favorite.
And it doesn't. That one doesn't bother me. But here's some that people are now getting really tired of. Touch base.
Let's just touch base.
Let's just touch base.
Let's touch base on that.
Yeah. This person wants them to die.
Really, that's exactly what the headline says. If you say touch base or reaching out, a new study says you deserve to die.
Here's the other one. The other one is reaching out.
Oh, man. I used to hear that every time I'd contact someone, especially in the entertainment business. Thanks for reaching out. I'm like, I didn't really. I just sent you an email. It wasn't the same thing.
That's a game changer.
Not like I touched you or...
Game changer.
Oh, I hate that one.
I do too.
Which out?
What's that?
Which other ones?
Blue sky thinking. Explain that to me. Because I've never...
I think that just means optimistic. I would think.
We're on a journey. And this is how you get fired. We're on a journey and you're not coming with us.
I'm sorry, but that is the cheesiest phrase ever. We're on a journey.
Now there's worse. Ducks in a row.
That's an old one.
That is an old
one.
one.
You can't get rid of that one.
No. If you don't like it, get off the bus.
I'm not sure I've heard that one before.
Not my circus, not my monkey.
Oh, I like that one still. You can't beat anything involving monkeys.
A no-brainer, but here's the one that I hate and I dislike intensely. And when corporate took over radio, we'd have these national people come in and they're going to teach all these yahoos
consultants
in these Salt Lake City areas. These yahoos, we're going to teach them how to run radio stations into the ground, and which they did
every time,
which is great.
Every time you get a national person who tells you, you guys don't know how to do real
well, they
radio
bought
here.
the company, and so and someone would ask a question, and remember, she said, "Oh, it's above my pay grade." And thinking in her head, half of you are being fired.
Probably, pretty much. It'll be above yours soon too.
There won't be a lot of changes except for that group right over there.
I'm so glad we don't do that anymore.
I am so glad.
But I know every corporation has those same cheesy phrases, and I know you have to sit through them. One of my friends is in a major HR position, and she said the most depressing thing they ever have to do is they force them to do these horrifyingly upbeat, like motivational seminars every week about synergy in you! ! And she's like, every time, every one of them just looks like. You can see them popping antidepressants in the bathroom. Like, I can't go through another one of these.
And if it's a guy, in a lot of cases, it's always sports analogies.
What is that?
It's either that or The Godfather.
Oh yeah. Susie on Facebook says, "Pay it forward." Yeah, I know.
That one
I got
too.
you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, honey. I'm sorry.
I got to get back over to Facebook.
All right, tell me something good.
Tell me something good.
This one killed me because I can't even imagine. We had an amazingly simple wedding when I look back on it now. I borrowed my sister's dress because it was a nice Vera Wang.
I borrowed my sister's dress because it was a pretty flattering.
Everybody wore kilts except for you. We found a nice Scottish
Will you
pipe
never
band.
Stop bringing that up?
I love you. I just think your legs are cute. But it was really nice. It was simple, and we had a really good time, and all the people we loved were there, and
right.
it was easy. But for most brides, it's like a huge thing. This is a thing that you plan for years.
Right.
Each plate for a guest is $125 and blah, blah, blah. It's a big thing. You build it up, and then the dress, and there's entire shows on TLC about the dress. Well, just imagine going through all of that.
She's adorable.
And then, so you've got your gown, you've paid for it, you're just waiting for it to come in.
Sounds good.
And then the company goes out of business, and all of a sudden you have nothing.
Are you kidding me? The dress was still at the shop?
Alfred Angelo is one of the world's largest wedding dress manufacturers, and they announced their Chapter 7 bankruptcy this week.
And
boom, everything stopped. No more shipments,
what do you mean?
No more inventory, no more anything. And the brides are like, I've paid for my dress. You have my dress. And they're like, we're bankrupt. We're gone. We don't care. And
so let me get this straight. Someone went in months ago.
Yeah.
Tried it on.
Yeah.
They finally found the one, and mom and mom-in-law, whatever, and they're like, "There's my little girl, perfect as a woman."
Yeah.
And then they left it there, maybe for an alteration or something.
Or they have to bring it in or whatever. Yeah. And it's just gone. So people these women are just sobbing. Now, if you go on Twitter, this is awesome, and it's #2, so you can find it there. Women across the nation are going, you can have my dress. You can borrow it, just send it back. Women are getting them. They're always clean because you put them in the pretty boxes, so they're all ready to go. And they're like, "What size are you? This is my dress size. This is how high. This is the color." They'll take a picture, and brides all over the country now are going, "Oh my God, thank you!" And so they're paying the shipping and handling for the dress to come there. And so everybody's like saving their weddings at the last minute. So if you do want to get involved in that, you want to participate, you can hit that on Twitter. I do it, except for it's my sister's dress, and but I love the idea of that, though, that women are like, look, I'm not going to wear it twice. So look, put it on, get it ready, take it, do what you need to, and then just send it back when you're finished.
That's really neat. And people don't even know them.
Because these girls are just dying because they're so sad, and this is like their day of their, this is their big dream. So yeah, on Twitter, you can just go to Lost Wedding Dress hashtag, or there's like 3 or 4 other different ones. If you just type in hashtag anything wedding dress, you'll see it. But if you want to donate, please do, and send us some pictures too. We'd love to see it.
All right, so coming up, we're going to talk about Google Earth and something cool and how it's connecting people all around the world, and that's coming up. But first, we got Daisy.
Yeah, she's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and of course, she's brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. Go to fink-mcgregor.com. Also, Executive Transportation. You can book your ride in one of March's sweet Escalades by going to executiveutah.com. And Black Diamond Experts. They do electric, plumbing, heating, and air with 24-hour service. The flooding yesterday should remind us they're handy. You can go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, what's going on today?
Hello everyone, here's what's making headlines Thursday, July 27th on GephartDaily.com. An Ogden City official was among 4 people killed Wednesday when the single-engine plane they were in crashed onto Interstate 15 just outside Roy. The victims are identified as 2 married couples, Lane Clark and his wife Diana Clark of Taylor, Utah, along with Perry Huffaker and his wife Sarah Huffaker, residents of West Haven. Perry Huffaker was Ogden City's parks director. The plane went down around 12:40 p.m. near the Riverdale Road exit. The aircraft had just left nearby Ogden Hinckley Airport when the pilot notified the control tower the plane was going down. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. The FBI is investigating reports that a Utah woman who died on an Alaskan cruise liner was the victim of domestic violence. A statement by Princess Cruises confirmed the death, saying the 39-year-old victim died Tuesday night. Authorities have yet to release the woman's name or describe the manner in which she was killed. The ship, the Emerald Princess, left Seattle on Sunday for a 7-day cruise. The health department in southern Utah now says there are 12 confirmed cases of E. coli in the Hilldale, Colorado City area. The deadly outbreak killed 2 children in early July, and the source of the contamination has yet to be established. The health department is now conducting a survey in the communities of Hilldale, Colorado City, and Centennial Park to try and figure out exactly when and where the outbreak began. And now a look at the Wasatch Front weather, where we can expect to dry out after a couple of days of soggy weather. You can expect high temperatures in the mid-90s for the next few days, with a slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms as we head towards the weekend. That's it for now. More news 24/7 on GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. Daisy's coming up in a minute. We're doing all the weekend stuff. It's going to be amazing. Tons of free things. Frank and McGregor, I absolutely love these guys for a couple of different reasons. Number one, Jeff is like one of the most entertaining people I know. And number two, this is like the simplest process I've ever seen for a mortgage. Because, usually when you try to apply for a mortgage, you feel like a chicken that's been spread out to dry in the sun, and they're poking through all your innards.
What?
No, think about it. They want all your personal information, and they're poking at you. And
I just wanted to buy a house.
I know, and he's got a 4-minute application form, and I actually went through it just to practice to see how fast it took. And bing, 4 minutes later, it listed like 3 or 4 different options, like you could try this, this, or this. And I'm like, well, that's really good. And he makes it incredibly streamlined. And he also does refinances, which is nice because right now, because the market is insanely hot, you've got some great comparables. So if you've been looking about refinancing your house, maybe getting some extra equity out and to remodel or whatever else, this is a great time. So all you have to do is go to fink-mcgregor.com. That's fink-mcgregor.com. They're a local company. They've been here for almost 15 years, and they'll look out for you. They'll take care of you. We know this personally, and you're going to see the same reason. Okay, fink-mcgregor.com. Go by and take the 4-minute mortgage challenge. You're going to like it.
Do you remember when Google Earth came out?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? And you downloaded it, which took 24 hours at the time, and then you started looking at like every street of every person we knew.
Now, one of the things is you get the pro model, and it actually gets in really even closer. But here's the point. I remember seeing it driving through Salt Lake City, and what they do is they have to travel every street.
They map
Every street. Can you imagine the directions on your GPS? Turn left again. Turn left again.
And again.
And on the right. And,
Do it again.
and the car looked like a little van. It was like a PC Cooper.
And they had the
On
cameras
top.
on top, right?
They
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
big round thing, and it had
Yeah.
cameras forward, back, forward, side.
360.
And so they had a 360 view, and that's how Street View works, is because they went and did this. Matter of fact, they got a lot of that data, and then they came out with Street View. So one of the cool things is, have you done this? I've gone to like my family cabin in Maine. I've zoomed in on our
Wow.
camp, on our camp cottage cabin thing here in Utah. Where else have you been? I've looked at mountaintops,
I looked at my old house in Virginia. I mean,
fishing
a bunch of different places,
fishing spots and things like that from above. Well, there's this lady, and she had moved to Florida from the UK, and she lost her mom. She lost her mom about 6 months ago.
Oh, that's hard.
It's really hard, and she's having a hard time. She wanted to talk to her mom, and obviously that wasn't going to happen, she realized, and she's pretty aware of that. And so she got bored one night and couldn't sleep. And so what she did is she went on Google Earth, and she went to Street View. Now, a lot of things have been caught there. Someone actually caught her husband cheating on her because they had a still shot of him and a girl, walking down the street holding hands.
Awkward.
Awkward.
But so she was just what, like a little homesick, wanted to see her
They've
child
got-
at home.
We
and-
had some other people who staged fights because they knew what they didn't say Google on it, but they saw it coming down with a big thing on
There was
top.
one group of people who mooned it.
And a guy like put him on the thing, and he's like this because he's gonna punch him in the face as the car goes by. It
I
takes
thought
a
the
picture.
mooning was the funniest.
The mooning was good. There's naked sunbathing with Google Earth on the looking down thing. So anyway, back to her. She's missing her mom. She said, "You know what I'll do? I'll go Street View my house back in England." And this is what she saw. She was missing her mom.
Wait, is that
Showed them the other one.
her mom?
Watering the garden as she always did.
Oh my gosh.
How
So
cool
when they
is
did
that?
the Street View, they had
She
caught
did-
her mom watering?
Just what she always did. And
And
there
she
she
got to
is.
see her mom again.
Isn't that awesome?
That is so cool.
What a great
Can
story.
you show
I
that
mean,
one more time? I want to see
can you
mom
go back
again.
to the last one? Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
look at her.
And there she is.
Can you imagine? It would just be like, that would be magical.
Right?
That would be absolutely
Just caught her out in the
magical.
driveway when they were going by.
And you can tell she loves her little flowers.
Yeah.
And there's mom. I think that
And
would be
now
like
she-
the coolest thing ever.
And now she can go back anytime she wants and check out mom, see how she's doing watering her plants.
Oh.
So anyway, I've made Erin cry. Boom. Sorry. Okay.
That's so sweet.
Hey, we want to say thank you, and how we're doing that is with steak at Christopher's, and
There's no better way to say thank you
there
than
is
meat.
no better
There
way.
isn't.
And what we're doing is we're simply, if you comment on the show, we're going to send you two Christopher's like this.
Prime Steakhouse.
You're
You
not
and
gonna-
3 of your friends.
You're not driving.
Yeah, Marsha's going to take care of you from executive transportation. You don't do parking. You don't need a designated
Watch
driver.
this.
He picks you up. He takes care of everything. As a matter of fact, you have to go by the Executive Transportation Facebook page. We've got some pictures from some of the fun winners, and you always see March's just sort of like tolerant smile everywhere he's driving.
Tell them again how they
But
do
it's
it.
such a great night, and all you need to do to enter to win, and we're picking a winner tomorrow, is just go to today's show, make a comment, share, like the page if you haven't, and boom, you're entered. That's all you need to do. And then tomorrow we will draw another winner. So you can do that at the Executive Transportation Facebook page, the Todd and Erin Facebook page, the Gephardt Daily Facebook page, or the Gephardt Approved Facebook page.
All right.
We cannot make this simpler because we're not bright enough to have a lot of conditions and things attached to it because we can't remember that.
Guess
So it
what's
has to be
coming up?
simple.
Erin and Daisy are going to tell you what's going on this weekend. So maybe, I don't know, you get off the couch for
It's
a
gonna be
change.
cool.
It's coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin morning stream is actually available anytime at gephardtdaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
It's like when you were talking about torturing that insect that one day.
Oh, yes, I was.
No, we
I
were just
was.
joking about it because Daisy is so sweet, and then she'll say the most horrible things in this nice British accent, and you're like, did she really just say that? You can't accept that you would really do that.
No.
Yeah, sure, an angel.
That's got me through a lot of things during my life, especially in school. Me?
I can only imagine. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, my darling.
Thursday.
All right. Do you enjoy having plans for the weekend?
Oh, so many plans. It just does not stop.
Have you
right
just
now.
basically like enforced your social life since we've started doing the weekend updates?
I don't even know what's happened. Our social life is kind of on steroids right now.
Seriously?
In that not even so. I mean, just between work and Jake doing more gigging and stuff. There's just stuff going on all the time.
I know, right?
But that's
pretty cool.
good, right?
Always.
I mean,
Always.
we can sleep later
When we're dead.
When we're old people.
Yeah, when we're wrinkled and exhausted. Which unfortunately happens sooner than you think. But
Yeah.
let's go with it. All right, now, so you found some really awesome stuff.
Yeah, so officially starting tomorrow, but opening party tonight is Salt Lake. It's called Great Salt Lake Fringe Festival.
Explain this. 'Cause
2017.
I thought I would know this one, and I didn't.
Yeah, so this is a really cool series of events. You could liken it to the Edinburgh Festival, which I've never been to. I don't know if you and Todd have been with your Scottish heritage.
Yes, we've been.
You have been to, yeah. So it's like that on a Salt Lake scale, but it started 3 years ago. This is the third one. And basically, the old DI building in Sugar House is closed now. And 3 years ago, they adapted it to be called the Fringe Factory. And
Interesting.
basically, the idea of a Fringe Festival is that it's theater, it's magic, it's all different, types of mostly theater, but it's
Performance-based.
performance-based, but unadjudicated.
Really?
So basically, the shows are all rated, and like F would be family friendly. So that they do shows that are kid friendly.
That's always helpful to know that in advance.
You could go and take Zoe, and then that goes all the way to FFF, fully fledged Fringe, R-rated. So
Fully fleshed fringe.
it's like you can go tame, or you can see theatre, which might push some boundaries for you.
Interesting.
The opening night party is tonight. Jay's band's playing,
Of course.
9:30, and there's going to be food, and I know a certain other person that might be in my family is going to paint a big mural.
Your mom's going to do it?
My nephew.
Oh, really?
My genius nephew is going to do it. So that's really cool. And then it starts tomorrow. The actual
event,
festival starts tomorrow. It goes this weekend and next weekend. And the way that it works is basically all the proceeds go to the artists.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
So you buy a Fringe wristband, and then you can drop in and see one show and be done. What we did last year was we earmarked like a day for it, and we saw I think 4 or 5 shows.
The cool thing is now you go, I'm a patron of the arts.
Patron of the arts, yes. And because it's in Sugar House, there's it's surrounded by like that amazing Waffle House, Bruges,
All kinds of
waffles,
eater. Oh, yes, I
and,
know.
and the Sundance catalog outlets right there, and so like you can go and see
It's like
theater
food and shopping porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fun. And
That's
then,
cool.
so-
I've never heard of that. That's really cool.
Yeah, and if you can't make it this weekend, it also goes next weekend, and the website for that is greatsaltlakefringe.org. And I don't know whether I said this, but it's 200 performances.
Wow.
And 50 companies.
Oh, wow.
50.
There's a lot of choices.
Yeah, and not just local. People come in
That's amazing.
So yeah, really cool thing. You know, if you
I
want
never
something
knew
a
about
little
that.
bit
I love
different,
that.
you
Yeah,
know.
I would love to take the kids to one of those. So that's cool. I'll have to check on that. All right. There's also I have not. I don't know why, but I have never been to this farmer's market, and I thought. I'm shocked. I thought we'd hit them all, but this one's free and it's really cool.
I
right?
found another one.
Cleverest girl.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to love Gardner Village,
Yes.
right? It seems to me that you might be.
Well, they have. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but they do ferry walks during the summer, and I've taken Zoe down with her friends like 3 or 4 different times, and they do little ferry parades. So you dress the girls up in wings, and you can dress the boys up in wings.
Yeah.
And they go through the whole ferry thing, and there's like you can make and take little ferry items, and they throw stones over the bridge with wishes. It's really cool.
Oh,
it's a lot of fun.
I went for the first time in October for the witchy.
Isn't that great? I love that one the best.
It was so funny because I was going to meet friends, and I was like,
You weren't aware that was happening
I'd never
at the
been to
time?
Gardner Village, and I'd never been to that event. And they were like, "We're dressing up," and I was like, "Okay, great. I'll drive over.
I'll have a nice skirt on. Sure.
I'll look for the witches, and it'll be great. I'll meet my friends." And I get over, I'm like, "My gosh, there are witches of every stripe and hue up in here. It's serious.
It's amazing. They do such a good job.
Oh, yeah. But so this is another great thing at Gardner Village. I don't know how long this has been going on for, but the Wasatch Front Farmers Market.
I like it.
So roll 2 fun things into one. Saturdays at 9 a.m. So you can go and you can do your Gardner Village-y things and get your... What are they called here? Caramel apples?
Caramel apples.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And then go to the farmer's market. And I guess 50 local farmers, food artisans, hate that word, artisan. You know when Todd was talking earlier on
About the most annoying phrase, that's yours?
For me, it's state of the art and artisan.
Artisan. Yeah, because it can be anything from cheese to, to anything.
It just means that someone's made it, right?
Yeah, okay. Congratulations. I know, I guess I see your point. That is sort of vaguely irritating. And that usually runs till about, like, what, 1? Because I'm not getting up at night for anything.
It's 9 till 1. So, I mean,
Perfect.
you could go at 11 or 12 and, catch the end and then...
Slap the fairy wings on Zoe and we're good to go.
Absolutely.
Everything's set. Caramel apple, farmer's market,
Yeah.
fairy wings.
Doesn't that sound fun?
I know. I love that. I had never heard of that one. So thank you for finding another
I know.
one.
And that goes through October.
That's gonna be
end of
perfect.
October.
Oh, and then you can do the witch festival too. Yes. It's a pleasing symmetry.
Yeah.
Pleasing.
Exactly.
All right, it's also Shark Week now. It's been Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, and I don't know if you saw the incredibly disappointing Michael Phelps race. I don't know if you'd seen this, but on the Discovery Channel, this is their biggest rated week of the year. And they said, this year, we're going to have Olympian Michael Phelps, and he's going to race a shark. We're going to put a shark and Michael Phelps, and they're going to race. No, they used a cheesy animatronic, a CGI shark, and went, yeah, they're swimming against each other. I'm like, that's a CGI shark.
But they kind of didn't say that.
No, they did not say that.
Right.
That's like a total ripoff. And of course he lost. We knew he would lose, but we thought that maybe the shark would go under the little ropes in the pool and eat him, and that would be fun.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
No, it was a CGI shark.
Well, just say that. I mean, if you're gonna, how did that come out? Did he then say, "Oh, but it was CGI"? Or
No, you could really tell. It was
you
a
could really
CGI
tell.
shark, yeah. But in any case, Shark Week always carries over to other things, and locally it's at the Loveland Living Planet Aquarium, and this is really cool. They have all kinds of amazing things. If you've never been down there before, they have a huge dome that goes over their big, gigantic shark tank. There's all kinds of different ones. They're having all kinds of dives and different things, and they're feeding the sharks, and you can see all the stuff they're doing with them. And they have movies, but it's really a lot of fun.
That sounds really fun.
It's cool, and for the price, it sounds spendy to get in, but once you're in there, you can see all the movies for free. You can do all the different things. They have these amazing touch pools. They have these stingrays that are gorgeous. That you can, and
they're so beautiful, aren't they?
my son McLean, for some reason, they hated me. They would never touch me. They'd splash me, but they loved him, and they'd ooze those little fins up by the side of the pool and go by so he could stroke them.
Oh, and he just loved it.
There's certain people they like, and there's certain people they hate, and for some reason, I was not the stingray person.
I bet I would put my hand in and I'd be like, "Oh, darling," and then it would like jump on my face or something. It would get like crazy vibes from me. I could just see something untoward happening if I tried to do it. I'd be like, "Oh."
I'm like, I'm telling Jay, I'm really sorry that I advised Daisy to go to Shark Week and the stingray ate her. I apologize. That's the most vivid picture.
I have a really vivid picture. I'm gonna have to let it go.
Oh, it's almost like the alien thing though, where it's little tail would wrap around you and
yeah, and
the
the whole
fins
thing
would be.
is like a big floppy kind of blanket, except it's eating you.
I am never going to be able to forget that. And you still said it in your sweet voice, and it's eating you. You're so sick. God, I love you. But anyway, so that's going on through the 29th, and it's pretty amazing. They do some really special things, so it's definitely worth taking the kids out to watch that. Also, new films. This part is really cool. Number 1, Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron.
Story on the rocks.
You pay attention.
Doesn't this thing? Have you seen the stunts she does in this? This woman, this woman's in her 40s now. She's a mom and stuff, and she literally beats the crap out of like 8 guys in one fight scene. And apparently, she's good at stunts, but she's so good. 2 of them actually went to the hospital, which was rather impressive.
Really?
So I'm like, Charlize, that's impressive.
So Jay is very excited for this film. I have no idea why.
I can't either imagine why that would be.
But you know that it's being bandied about that she's in to be the next James Bond.
Wouldn't she be perfect?
She'd be amazing.
I would love to see a woman James Bond finally. That would be so amazing. Although I was kind of rooting for Idris Elba as the first African American. Well, actually, no, he's black. He's British black. But yeah, that he would be the first black James Bond. He would have been amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
I
still
think
possible.
they should have like 3 James Bonds. Like Daniel Craig and Charlize and Idris Elba.
You know, they do the same thing in Marvel now where they have like female Thors and stuff. So why not?
And they could just all do all the stuff together so none of them get too tired. You know?
You have to do this stunt. I don't want to do that one, but I'm going to make out with the hot woman in the next scene. Yeah, I can understand that. All right, also moving on, the new Emoji film. You knew it was just a matter of time.
Welcome to the secret world inside your phone, where emojis like me work and live. Here, each of us does one thing, and we have to nail it every time.
And you knew the first one they were going to show would be the poop emoji.
Of course. So Zoe likes the idea of this?
Oh, yeah, she's very excited. Whenever I text anybody, she insists on putting in 47 emojis before I'm allowed to send the text. So, yeah, so she's beside herself.
Do they, I think the world is separated into people that send like 47 emojis that make no sense, or ones that send like little narratives. Does she do no sense emojis, or is there like a story?
There's a story that goes with it. I have a friend, though, who's so disgusted by emojis that she won't answer you back if you use one. So instead, I will just write in parentheses, chagrined emoji, or overexcited emoji, and that she will accept as long as it's in text and not the actual picture.
That's even better. I love that. I might start doing that.
She'll send back pleasantly surprised emoji. Yes. So either way, everybody's happy at the end, so that's all that matters. So.
And that movie looks
like something your kids will love.
Yeah, and you can sleep, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That'll be me. I'm always the one trying to hide my cell phone and like text people at the same time. You know, waste not, want not, because you're stuck in the theater for 2 hours.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
going to be a fun weekend.
I know, right? It'll be good. So anyway, if you need any other ideas, just be sure to go on the Todd and Erin page on GetPartDaily.com. We always put out a full list of different things that are happening. There's really no excuse. There isn't. Especially not with Daisy in the room. She'll think of something exceptionally horrible for you to do, no matter how sweet and innocent it appeared to be.
Stinger on your face if you don't do this stuff this weekend.
Stay with us. Coming back, we've got a whole bunch of interesting things about the new open carry law with firearms. You'll be excited to hear all about it, Daisy.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GetPartDaily.com?
What are you guys doing? You guys are ridiculous.
Oh my God, she makes me laugh.
Good gosh.
No, it's because she's so sweet. That makes it even creepier when she gets weird.
Did you do any work in here while I was gone?
No, pretty much it was all giggling.
Oh, funny.
You
I heard
really
that
don't
part.
expect better from us, do you? I mean, at this
No.
point, you kind of know.
I'm trying to find this story.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Is this it? Where am I? Oh, the granny thing? Yeah, Granny.
Granny pods. Explain granny pods, because that sounds really troubling.
So, here's the situation. What do you call it? Sandwich kids? What? Sandwich generation?
I call it the panini generation, because
The
it's really
panini.
more like you're the cheese and the meat between two searing hot slices of bread that are slamming you like this.
And the
But yeah, it's the
bread-
sandwich generation. You have
the-
the younger kids, the older parents.
All right, so a lot of people are taking care of them, and a lot of people, 23 million Americans take care of their elderly parents. Now, a lot of times, the parents want to stay in their house. They stay usually as long, and it usually,
Well, sure.
unfortunately, is some kind of small accident or larger accident or a fall, or they don't feel confident, or they're taking medication. They're like little, I forgot to take it, and then it's either go to a citizen's home,
care center home.
a care center home, or nursing home, or come and live with the parents. Now, that made it sound wrong because they're called granny pods. And they put them here to show.
What is this?
They drop them in the backyard.
Oh, that's adorable.
Some call them med pods.
Oh, I love that. Look, they've got little rocking chairs on the porch and everything.
And so it looks like a tough shed. And they drop these things in your backyard, and Mom can live with it, but she still has her own space.
She's got her own place,
And
yeah.
you do too. And so, like your kids you have just enough bedrooms. And so, as opposed to doing throwing her in the basement, you actually put her in the backyard and make her own little house, heater, cooler, bed, little kitchenette just so she can make her tea and stuff, but she eats with the family.
I absolutely love that idea.
And then you take her out and you put her on the dog run, again, for safety, and put a little heater in her water pool so it doesn't freeze during the winter.
I really liked the story right until you came up to that. Is there any story you can leave me with a warm feeling before you have to destroy it?
No, I think it's a great idea. Now, they say these cottages, because they come, they build them on site, but they come prefab, basically. And they said they're costing $85,000 to $125,000. And I pshaw, I say.
No, that's ridiculous.
I could build something awesome. With big windows.
No, you could buy something from Home Depot that's probably better made
for
than that.
$5,000, $6,000,
Yeah,
you could
and then
customize it.
Yeah, and then just trick it out.
Put
That's
two
ridiculous.
of them together. I mean, you could do a lot of great stuff, or just build it from scratch.
You
but
could build a little house for $125,000. That's ridiculous.
I bet you I could put a really nice one together with all the heat and the cooler and all this stuff and the water and electricity. I bet you could do it for, a really nice one.
Yeah.
For like $40,000
At the most.
at the most.
Yeah, and
that's
that's
with
making-
gold faucets.
No, but that's making her comfortable and everything.
I think it's a good idea. When I grew up, my friend Arthur came from a Catholic family, very similar to Mormon families, where
A
they
lot
had
of kids.
they had just a
A lot of kids.
van full of kids, and the parents didn't like them that much because they were crazy kids. They're all boys. And so what they did is they built a bunkhouse in the backyard, and as soon as it got warm enough, the dad would kick them out of the
Are you
house.
kidding? The kids would totally love that. It's like your own backyard
My
summer
gosh,
camp. That's like the coolest thing ever.
I'm sleeping over Arthur's house.
No, that would be. That would be amazing.
We'd run around the neighborhood. It was great.
All right, we need to go back to Daisy. Hopefully she's gotten the stingray off of her face by now. Daisy is brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages Made Simple. If you want to just go to fink-mcgregor.com, you can see their 4-minute mortgage challenge. Also, Executive Transportation, proud hosts of the Big Thank You. March takes you around in his sweet Escalades anywhere you need to go simply by booking him at executiveutah.com. And all Utah plumbing, heating, and air with 24-hour emergency service. And given the rains we've had over the last couple of days, I'm pretty sure some of you have been calling him regarding your basements. Daisy, what's going on, my darling?
Hello again, Todd and Erin. Here's a look at national and world news on Gebhardt Daily. One man was killed and 7 others injured after a ride malfunctioned at the Ohio State Fair Wednesday. The riders were aboard a popular attraction called the Fireball when they were suddenly thrown to the pavement. 5 of those injured are in critical condition. The cause of the accident is under investigation. The GOP-controlled U.S. Senate has voted against a straight repeal of the Affordable Care Act, with 7 Republican senators siding with Democrats. Senators voted 55-45 not to repeal the health care law without having an immediate replacement in hand. Republicans are vowing to come up with a workable plan late this summer, while the Trump White House is promising retribution for GOP lawmakers who voted against Wednesday's repeal. And Utah Senator Orrin Hatch is speaking out against Donald Trump's comments that he will not accept or allow transgender people to serve in the U.S. military in any capacity. I don't think we should be discriminating against anyone, Hatch responded yesterday. Transgender people are people and deserve the best we can do for them. I look forward to getting much more information and clarity from our military leaders about the policy the president tweeted Wednesday. Trump said he arrived at the decision after talking to his generals. He did not say who those generals were. That's it for this edition of World Headlines. For more news from around the globe and at home, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy.
All right, I'm about to. Some of you are going to hate me now, and I'm prepared for that.
Okay.
This is just my opinion, all right? Because what don't you talk about at the dinner table?
Politics and guns and sex.
Right. What are we doing? Oh! I got to tell you, this is coming up about your gun. Why you're going to hate me? I talked to John yesterday at All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, and tell you what, he is busy. He is busy doing a lot of different things as far as putting AC units in and
I
stuff
love that
like
bathroom remodel he did for that one family. That was so
yeah.
sweet. That made it better for the child with some sensory issues.
He's certified. He's got certification. He's insured, and he does all this great work. And you only have to fix it once. He's also very honest, and he comes out and he says, that'll last another year. You're done. In our case, we just got a house we're renting, so I'm going to have him come through and do his walkthrough that he does. He's going to check everything, make sure the furnace is good, make sure the hot water heater is going for you. So that's what we're going to do. If you want to check it out, all you have to do is go to allutahplumbing.com to get more information. All right, and now
Tell us what you're going to hate us now.
Now
Or
you're
we're
gonna
going to hate you.
You're going to hate me because sex, politics, and gun laws. Don't talk about that during Thanksgiving. There'll be a fight. North Dakota has just come up with a new deal about carrying weapons, and I have no problem with that. I have no problem with carrying weapons. So, concealed weapons permit, you're fingerprinted, you go through the FBI.
As long as you're getting the training and the testing and everything you're supposed to do,
Right.
you're responsible.
No problem with that. Feels very safe with that. What they're going to do is North Dakota is basically, they said, just carry it. Just carry your gun.
Like, really, you can just do it?
Yeah. You can just carry your gun.
It's brought to you by All Utah Plumbing.
Oh. And we're having steak.
This is the best day ever.
Now, the problem is
I love working here.
we can't eat it because we don't have enough commercials that we can actually eat this.
Why don't you
during the
finish that
show.
story, and then we're going to go to All Utah Plumbing. We've got kind of a cool little package. But why don't you finish the story, honey?
Say, wish I had a gun. So anyway,
talking.
North Dakota, no permit required. You have to be a resident for 1 year, and then you start packing. You just start packing. And so the problem with this is that for me,
This toast is delicious. Finish the story.
No, just go ahead to. You want to know more about Utah Plumbing?
All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Yeah, watch.
Watch this.
John, we're in the bathroom.
How's it going, Todd?
Look at this.
Yeah.
Same height.
I grew.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so anyway, knock.
Who's there?
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Dwayne, the bathtub I'm drowning.
Oh my God.
Yes!
Is that stupid?
Plumber humor.
What we're doing today is we're going to talk about repairing a faucet or replacing a faucet. The one we're talking about today happens to be a tub faucet. Sometimes, what we're going to get to in a second is, this is repairable, but should we replace it, the age of it? And so let's talk about that.
All right, let's see what we're working on. I'm out of the bathroom.
Okay, Todd, this here is a Delta faucet. It's about 15, 18 years old. And so it is rebuildable. I like Delta, it's a good product. But 15, 18 years, what about the pressure balancing part, which means it would fail to cold for safety or off so that you don't burn anybody? This faucet can't do that. So should we? Well, in this case, we're going to replace it. And so that's what I'm recommending for people when it's of age and it doesn't have that pressure balance. It is a good idea to go ahead and upgrade.
Hey, John.
Hey, bud.
I got tools.
You give me those. Your wife and you don't want you to have tools.
All right, well, thanks for the information today. All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John's going to help you out. We have other videos as well. And next time, I don't want to be in a bathroom with you.
It's going to keep happening.
I'm leaving.
No,
It's delicious. I'm going to try the hash brown. So go ahead, tell us about the gun thing, honey.
no,
Well,
no,
well,
because the whole thing got derailed. So we're not going to talk about that anymore.
no one likes a powder.
We'll be back right after this.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, we have a story. This is going to be really interesting, especially if your kids are in sports. And I'm not sure what the rule is in soccer now. I don't think you can head balls in a lot of different growing up kids
In the
soccer
kids' leagues,
leagues.
yeah.
And I think that's true. I
know they've had some real thoughts about this and some of the new research they've been finding. Yeah.
Well, here's one. Chicago, they researched on 202 former football players and found evidence of brain disease in nearly all of them.
Oh, wow. These are athletes in the NFL, college, even from high school.
High school. And so what they're learning now is you don't really need a concussion. You need a bang in the head off a dashboard or, you know, a piece of timber or whatever. In football, it's all about hitting. And the boxers don't stand a chance on this, by the way.
Oh.
Back in the day, they used to call it punch drunk. And the guys were just goofy. Like
Yeah, I wonder why you rattled your brain 16 times in a circle.
if you were in back of them, you rang a bell like they start fights with. A lot of guys would bring their fists up.
Wow.
And unfortunately, it ends up near the end with depression. People are impulsive and behavior changes. And a lot of the NFL. So anyway, this is what I want to think about. In boxing, in lacrosse, there's hitting. Soccer, there's head bouncing with a ball. There's all these different things. And now they're starting to find out that these things accumulate. So every time you bump and you rattle your brain, you got a little more damage. And the cross sections of brains. NFL players have actually donated their brains when they die. And
For the research, yeah.
couple of them have committed suicide. And they actually left their brains because they knew something was wrong. And that no one knew what it was. In the NFL, you know, they have a new rule where you can't go helmet to helmet. You have to come in and tackle someone differently as you would before. Steve Young. Steve Young.
Multiple concussions. That poor man.
He dropped out. He dropped out after 5 because he realized the rest of his life he was going to be messed up. And he got concussions easier than some. And so he said, I'm not ruining the rest of my life. Plus he had enough money. And he could have.
But I mean, he went to law school. He's a really smart guy. There's a myriad of things he can do, and he just didn't want to.
He could have played for another 10 years, quarterback. But the job that everyone else, half the people in the field, to do is to put you on your ass. And when you do that, you hit your head. And so he just said, I'm not going to do it anymore, which is interesting. But this is incredible.
That's really scary news.
The
Neuropathologist is it was a brand new science. I mean, basically that they were working through trying to figure out the damage in the brain and how it accumulated. And just the fact that they found that, and there was ossification of certain of the neurons that go towards the hypothalamus and the functioning part of the brain that regulates things like behaviors, like impulsivity and anger and a lot of the emotions. And that's what they were finding. And it's heartbreaking. I mean, I remember our
This is
boss,
why
Todd.
I married her, by the way, because she's really smart. I
No,
like
but
I like cheese.
our former boss Todd, though, don't you remember his son? His son was in high school, and he ended up having
Yeah.
severe brain trauma. And
Right.
this is something that they work on all the time now together as a family, as awareness.
The NFL denied this for a long time, and they finally acknowledged the link between head blows and brain disease and agreed to pay $1 billion settlement to compensate former players who had accused the league of hiding the risk, which they knew beforehand. And so they got kind of caught. And so that's what's going on. But I'm thinking
Tennis.
It's got to
Tennis is good. I think tennis.
Badminton.
Badminton's good. Maybe some golf.
Shuttlecock will never hurt you. But seriously, as a pee-wee football,
Wow. It kind of changes your entire view.
but I just thought it was, once again, 202 former football players found evidence of brain disease in nearly all of them.
That's really scary. It should, I think it's really going to change the course of how a lot of parents decide to put their kids into sports. That maybe some of the old standbys, you're going to rethink it.
See, pee-wee football players, they're like this tall,
I know.
and they're running around and with their brains in a helmet, but not enough. Here's something scary as well.
This is just getting more and more inspiring.
Roomba?
It's Roomba.
Roomba. So Roomba, if you haven't known, it's a craze, and evidently it's doing really well. And it's that little round vacuuming machine that does it on its own around your house.
See, I think I could never get one because it's creepy, because I would always see it moving out of the corner of my eye, and it would make me anxious.
So this is what it looks like. And it has a grid pattern, and it goes and it'll hit a table leg or something, and it'll go around it, and it has a methodical process of doing this, and actually kind of learns the environment after a while, and this is cool. But what they're trying to do now is sell that information.
What do you mean?
They want to sell the vacuum's information that's stored, and they want to sell it.
Like the data, for instance, if it sees that your couch is all beat up, Amazon.com will start sending you notices about couches on sale and stuff.
Amazon, Apple, and Alphabet.
That's so sleazy.
They want to buy all the. iRobot is the people who make the vacuum, and they want to do that in the next couple years. So they figure out the layout of your house. Wow. Listen to this. They figure out the layout of, let's say, your living room, right? And they know how big it is. Now they know what size furniture you want. Now once they know that, they can also probably figure out what your square footage is. And if you have larger square footage, you can afford a better couch. See how it goes?
That's creepy.
It is way creepy. And the one thing that
I had no idea that they could actually transmit data, though. I didn't know they had data accumulation. I thought it was just sort of a mindless thing that did a grid.
That would be the next step. Well, that would be the next step.
Well, they've already made it compatible with Alexa from Amazon, and I think that's what they're talking about.
Right. Isn't that crazy?
Okay, you have enough information, and we're not even that interesting. And I'm still uncomfortable with how much information you have.
There still is one defense.
Yes.
That they didn't think about. And here it is, that vacuum thing is going around, you're at work and stuff and whatever, and then say you have a dog in the house. Let's say the dog didn't get out to go to the bathroom, and here comes the vacuum.
Really? That's where your brain goes to poop?
With its little sweeping arms. Actually, and they're not cheap.
What are you, like 12?
No.
You really went down to a poop joke? You finished with a poop joke.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny though, because it's like, I don't know how much they cost. It's got to be hundreds, right? And the one thing, its weakness, chink in its armor, is running over poop.
Yes, my husband goes to the poop joke every time.
Not every time.
I'm so sorry.
All right, I've got something else.
Will you hurry up because my breakfast is getting cold?
Mine is too, and I've been thinking about that, actually. Have you?
Yes.
I have too. And thanks, guys,
that is
by the
one
way.
disadvantage. Thank you very, very much, guys. This
really
is
nice.
Delicious.
Go ahead and torture us more. This is funny. In Kentucky, there's a newspaper, and it finally put out a correction. Is that what they call them? Correction? Mm-hmm. Are you eating? Mm-mm. They put out a correction for stories dating back to 1887 up to 1966. You're eating. So they have been, there's a controversy, I guess, in the world. And I'm going to have Erin read, what do they call it? They call it something in the newspaper. What do they call it?
Correction.
Correction? Retraction? Thank you. Well, we'll just wait until your mouth's empty. No, you can't read with
I'm
your
fine.
mouth full.
My mouth is no longer full.
Okay. Here's the retraction, and let me see, make sure. Okay, here it is. I'm going to eat now.
From the Louisville Courier Journal. On the following dates, the Courier Journal incorrectly referred to hot dogs as sandwiches.
Right.
October 2nd, 1887, August 10th, 1901, March 20th, 1904, July 21st, 1935, January 14th, 1939, May 4th, 1941, September 15th, 1950, June 29th, 1958, November 16th, 1961, and August 4th, hey, my birthday, 1966. Among those errors were references to a Frankfurter sausage sandwich, Frankfurter sandwich, Coney Island sandwich, Frankfurter sandwich with mustard, and the most egregious, a Frankfurter sandwich with ketchup, also misspelled. We deeply regret these errors, especially that last one. We're deadly serious about the accuracy at Courier Journal. This is from the newspaper's executive director, Joel Christopher.
There you go.
And the most egregious.
That's so funny. So there you go.
Frankfurter sandwich with ketchup.
Yeah. So one of the guys, because they have a big argument that it is a sandwich, and no, it's not. And one of the gentlemen said, I'm buying a Courier Journal subscription so I can cancel it. So that's taken care of. So one of the deals is, so we're moving, we're renting a house, right? And one of the things I just thought about last night is I have a freezer in the basement.
Oh yeah, we gotta clear out the big chest freezer.
So that means I gotta move the freezer, then move the food, and then, so anyway.
Can't they move the freezer with the food in it?
I don't trust them. One of the things that we have in there, because I buy stuff when it comes out on sale, is I had a pork leg, which is basically a fresh ham. And, well, this is what I did with it. Hey, it's Todd here. It's time for reality cooking. And I got a helper, and this is Zoe. Okay, now, everyone in their house has distractions when they're cooking. This is going to be no different. Okay, so what we're making today is a whole pork leg, also called a fresh ham. This is 22 pounds. It's $1.89 a pound. So you can feed an army with this thing, and it was $42. So what we're going to do is, I'm cooking with a 2-year-old today. What we're going to do is, may I have the garlic, please? Thank you. We're going to take garlic, and we're going to take rosemary, and we're going to take olive oil. Fortunately, I'm out of olive oil, so we're going to use regular oil, because that's the way it is around our house. And we're going to chop this, and with salt, cover the entire leg of pork.
Can I hold it?
Yeah, you can hold it. And put it in the oven, and it's going to be awesome. It's really quick. It's really easy. Hi, and welcome to Cooking with a 2-year-old. This is Zoe, by the way, and where's my dog? My dog is over there, the black thing. Anyway, today we're making a whole leg of pork, and what you're going to need is a sharp knife. If you don't have a sharp knife, go get one, because if you don't, you'll be very frustrated. We're going to cross-hatch this, and we're going to roast it fat side up, and we'll get some crackling out of it, which is that bit that everyone can't stay out of the kitchen for. So basically what you do is, with a sharp knife, and this is sharp, but it takes a little bit. That's why you can insult pigs. They have a very thick skin, and they don't really care. Alright, so just like this, and then go back the other way. What do they look like?
Chicken.
I thought they looked like zebras.
Yeah, zebra.
Alright, and then we're going to cross-hatch the other way like this. And you're supposed to go about 3/4 of the way through the fat.
Right now?
Not yet.
Why?
This 2-year-old. There you go. No salt yet.
There.
All right, go ahead.
There. I put some on.
But
You want this on?
not yet.
Why? Now?
Not yet.
Why?
Because.
Now?
Sure. There you go. That's the rosemary. So I'm going to continue to do this.
I put some all together, Mom.
They look really nice. They really do. Oh, by the way, if you're going to try to do this, and like I said, see why you need a sharp knife? If you're going to do this, make sure this thing is cold out of the fridge, because otherwise it's going to wobble all around. We're going to cut up the topping for it, which is going to be the garlic, the olive oil, the salt, and the rosemary. And then we're going to smear it all over it and put it in the oven. It's that simple. I mean, this is 22, because it's that simple because there's not that many steps, Zoe. All right, at this point, what they want you to do is they want you to take rosemary, which I've cut up, and garlic as well. And they want you to put it in a food processor, but I don't know where mine is, and it takes too long to clean anyway. So we chopped it up like this. Zoe, my daughter, because this is her favorite thing. Would you smash that garlic for me? That one right there.
How?
Go ahead, you can do it.
Oh,
Keep going.
I think it's twisted.
There you go. That's where they usually end up, under the stove. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put olive oil,
Why?
and then we're going to put the rosemary and the rest of the garlic into the bowl. And when they say heavily salt this, that's what's going to make the skin brown. Yeah, this is the salt?
They put on this.
Okay, well, here, let me put this in first.
No, I have to do that.
Okay, here, put some, hang on one second.
Move it, move it.
All right, here you go. Would you pour it in there for me? I help? Okay,
Okay.
there you go, perfect. Do you like cooking? Yeah, do we cook all the time? We do.
I have to mix it.
Yeah.
I
Now,
have to do that.
just for family services, if you're from there,
Watch out.
the knife I gave her was dull, and of course she is sitting on top of a 6-burner stove, but let's not worry about that right now. So my assistant Zoe is taking an Elmo break, and basically this is what it's going to look like. I added some pepper on top of it as well. We're going to put it in the oven at 350 for about 3 hours, and that is covered with tin foil. And at that point we're going to take it off. And what you're looking for, depending on the weight of the leg, is 170 degrees, and you want to check in a couple different places to make sure you're not just hitting a hot spot. Now there's one thing I should say, is these are not hard to get if you go to your regular supermarket. What? We'll get some milk at the store. We'll get some more juice as well. As I was saying, they're not hard to get. All you do is go to your local grocery store. They'll put it on their order list, and it will come. This one's 22 pounds. It came cryo-packed. It'll last in your fridge for like a week. Yeah, dear.
What are you doing?
I am getting ready to put this in the oven. What about you? Come here. Yeah? I'm going to put this in the oven.
Why?
Yeah, because we're going to eat it.
Can I see it?
Well, no, it's covered up right now. We're going to cook it for 3 hours.
Why?
Because that's how long it takes to cook.
You take it there on top. You take it there on top.
The tin foil?
No, the top oil.
Well, the reason I covered it was to make sure that it doesn't dry out.
Why?
Because it's not good if it dries out.
Oh my gosh. She's such a little bean.
She was only 2 there because she
Oh
was
my
holding up a
gosh.
bottle, and that's when I made her stop using it.
All right, so
She
I'm
was 2.
all right, so I'm looking on Facebook. Okay, yes, she's adorable. And yes, she was sitting on the stove.
Well, it's not like it was on. We didn't have anywhere else to put her when we were shooting that.
It's not like she has grill marks on her butt. Oh, that's just yeah, she's
you
she's sitting on the stove.
How about if you just show them the aftermath?
All right.
of
So
it?
anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you can comment or share. Please share. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. Oh, by the way, the leg of pork, this is what it looked like. All right, the little one is still awake, but the pork is now done. It was 3 hours at 350, and then probably another 2.5 hours because of the size of it. But as you can see, I think we got the desired effect. Big meat. Don't be afraid. My daughter needs to be changed.